every
Quick
episode of
spin
One
through dimensions, and I
Piece.
landed right after Eldritch. But it looked like we took another detour through History 101. Eldritch hightailed it into some kind of old fort and showed them his party piece with a vortex. By the sounds coming from inside, they weren't too impressed. One thing was for sure, though. I had to find a way into that fort.
The scope of this game is actually kind of crazy.
Yep. So does this save automatically, or do you still need to use a save token? So, Austin, because we keep making Pet Cemetery as movies, should we make that a miniseries?
Um,
Oh
God.
yeah, I would say a movie's better.
But we've already made like 20 movies.
Yeah, let's make another movie. It's okay because none of the movies are good anyways.
Oh.
Anyways,
Oh.
I like stuff in the original movie, but it's overall pretty dull.
Oh.
And I dislike Judd Crandall. Yeah, in the original. No, I actually don't
Hey,
know.
can we get on with this already?
Yeah, the original sucks. I actually don't think the remake is that much of a step off from the original. They're
Let's
both
see
not
what
great.
this little baby can do.
No, not oof. They're both not great. They both do certain things well and certain things not well in any way. They're both not great. We're still waiting for the good
Sure, I
Pet
pay my dues. How
Cemetery
about you?
movie. But the thing with Pet Cemetery, because it's a long book, it's like I think 600 pages. But most of it is like just going really into detail
Yankees and
about
Confederates, huh?
things. So like
I guess I'll
you could
buy that.
definitely do that as a
But this
movie.
war of yours just got a little less civil.
Sounds like a Stephen
How do
King
I
book.
get into that fort?
It takes the main character like 200 pages to dig up his son.
Barred from inside and strong enough to stop a buffalo charge. You'd need an army to break him down.
No, it says I don't want to be buried. Pet Cemetery.
I agree. I wouldn't want to be buried IA Pet Cemetery either. No, that's the like one good thing one amazing thing that's come out of the Pet Cemetery movies is the Ramones song is great, and it winning the Razzie for worst song that year is like one of the biggest travesties in human history.
Find an army. Watch the prequel on Paramount Plus.
I have seen the prequel on Paramount Plus. I don't remember anything about it. At the same time, it probably can't be worse than Pet Cemetery 2.
Oh.
No, that's the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, if you have ass AIDS. But yeah, John, that is about Judd Crandall and like the military boy. All I remember is they went to a school. That's literally the only thing. Like, I close my eyes and try to think of that movie. All I can see is like a school hallway.
All I can remember is one of the lead actresses like being blood on her and screaming because in like every train ad I saw for that movie.
Oh fuck no! I just remembered it. There is one thing that will always be memorable to me because I gutted myself laughing at the time.
Hey, what's that?
Because I wasn't really following it, right?
Entrails?
And I was like, "Oh, are they gonna make like another cover for the song for the prequel?" Because I don't mind the cover that they did for the remake. I thought it was pretty good. So I was like, "Oh, maybe they'll do like something like that again." And then the credits hit, and then they start blasting "The Weight" by the band, and I fucking died laughing. It's such a weird needle drop at the end of your horror movie.
No, what's better? The Man Behind the Mask or Pet Cemetery song? I picked the Man
Pet Cemetery. Oh! Oh, what the fuck? I like the Man Behind the Mask, but like Pet Cemetery is like top 3 Ramones song. That's not a top anything Alice Cooper song. It's good, but Pet Cemetery is like one of the greatest songs ever. Fuck you, John.
I think the Ramones are okay. I would take out a mid Alice Cooper song over a great Ramones song.
Nah,
Aw.
that's whack. Pet Cemetery is an amazing track, and I
Did
love
your
that
neck
they wrote
rock?
it in Stephen King's basement.
I love
And I also love that they had to make a theme for a Stephen King book, and it still fits their track of most of their songs are either about how they want
Let's
something or
tango.
don't want something. It's like they've got 3 modes. It's I want, I don't want, and women do things. It's like the 3 tracks. I love it.
I mean, that's just the meaning of life.
Exactly. It really is.
John, that barrier you keep running to in the road, you gotta blow that up.
I should re-listen to it. My favorite Ramones song is
That's a good one. Mine,
From Hellraiser?
yeah. No, I like Pet Cemetery and That a KKK Took My Baby Away.
How about it,
It's probably my
stranger?
2 favorite Ramones
Confederate or
songs.
Yankee?
Yeah, I'm just kind of on the fence there. I'm just your average
I
guy
love
with a
that
chainsaw. That's me.
the reason that song came
One
to
good
be
reason I
is
don't
that
put
one of the
above you right
Ramones had like an
'Cause if you
affair
try
with
it,
the
I'm gonna
other
shove this
Ramones
chainsaw so far up
girlfriend.
your ass, you'll be whistling
And the one that
Dixie
had
with a
the
hole in your
affair was
head.
like very
Comprende?
conservative. So the
That's
one that
fun,
got
boy.
cheated on wrote that
I
song.
might kill you today. You won't live long in the middle of a war. Other side to fight.
That's so
Believe me, I got
badass.
battles of my own.
You change your mind, we're camped in the woods beside town. South could use a man with spirit and a strong arm.
I'll think about it. Me and Colonel Sanders, yes sirree.
Hell yeah. Okay, so John, you gotta find the church, and it says that your church key will still work.
John, just go
FYI.
fuck to church.
I love that
Yeah.
this is the 3rd time period we've been at. This church key still works.
It's still good.
So Austin, we went from like Revolutionary War era to now we're in the Civil War era, but we're still in
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I bet you
Yeah,
lose
that sounds
IQ
cool.
points every time you go to the bathroom.
I think I did memorize that.
Oh. Where?
Noah says he knows your house. Austin, Noah knows
It's
your
true.
house.
It's true, yeah. No, I looked in my fridge the other day and Noah's mom's head was in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my
And then he
gosh.
Let's
and then he
tango.
stabbed me in the brain. He was at least nice enough to turn the stove off, though.
Yeah.
No, I love that Austin and I give a completely different answer to Noah's question. Austin just like was not expecting me to say something different.
Well, no, because it's like objectively Pet Cemetery between the 2 of them. Robert didn't even answer; he just laughed because he knew
Well,
I was right.
I know the Pet Cemetery song, but I'm gonna give Austin the benefit of the doubt that it
Hey,
is
I bet
probably
you lose
better
IQ
than
points every time you go to the bathroom.
and he's back.
Yeah, and I like he's back. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's not
Uh-uh.
like it's not like I dislike that song,
No, you hate it.
but it's like saying what is a better theme, like Ghostbusters or fuck, I don't know, Weekend at Bernie's. It's like, is that even a question?
And he's dead, and we're dragging him around.
And we know his house.
Oh, Bernie's dead.
yet somehow we made a sequel.
Hey, can we get on with this already?
Well,
I don't want to be buried next to those Ghostbusters.
yeah. John, I was just gonna say that according to the walkthrough, the town is roughly the same, so you should easily be able to find it.
Shut up.
Evening, Padre. Not much of a turnout tonight, huh?
You're welcome in the
Remember, you have
Lord's
to
house, my
draw
son.
John down.
Did you get it?
Well, that's a long story, and we're kind of in the middle of a war scenario.
Truly.
When I was a kid, my
I
dad
offered
would
the
be like,
church
"Oh, I
as
need you to go
sanctuary
to
from
this
the perils
place,
of
and
war.
here I'll draw you a
None of the
map." And he would
townsfolk
draw the
opinion.
map, but he wouldn't
They've been through
include
so
streets
much
that were like
already.
in between the
Wish
streets
I
I had
could
to
tell you
go
otherwise,
down.
but
And then half the
going
time
through a
also
whole lot
wouldn't
more.
mark what the name of the
Please, my
street
son,
was.
if you find
So it was
any
just like a
wildflowers,
series of
bring
lines,
them
and I
to
just
the
had to hope
safety of
that I
the
got
church.
there.
Don't you worry, Padre. I'll make like a regular shepherd boy.
It's also like, I don't know, like 2010, like he was still doing this. Like, I don't know. I don't think he had a computer then. I don't know. My dad's had like a weird history of having a computer. Yeah, he would like have one, and then one of my siblings would spill something on it, and then he would just go long periods of time without having one. And it's just, I don't know, my dad's weird about certain things. Like, he also like refuses to have AC in his car, and like has to have, when he gets a new car, he has to have it like custom made to not have AC, because it's like a default thing that every new car is built with now.
Wait, why?
I don't know. That's just hardcore about stuff like that. He also like refused to have a microwave for like 6 years, and I complained about it to him endlessly. And then when he moved in with like his current wife, she had a microwave, and I was like, "Fucking thank God." I'm like, how are you living in 2014 and you don't own a microwave? That's insane.
I'm not keeping a nuclear reactor in my house.
No, basically, it's like, oh, I want a pizza pop, but I gotta wait like fucking 40 minutes to have one. As opposed to 2 minutes if you had a microwave.
My grandma was like that when I was growing up, so if I wanted a hot pot, it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I gotta like plan in advance if I want something to eat. Like, I'm a teenager. I just decide that second I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna be hungry in an hour. It's like, so I don't know.
Well,
You know, there's just like certain things like that.
there are some things that are better than hot pockets. They should be microwaved.
Well, no,
All right,
like
listen up, you
objectively,
screwheads. You
anything
don't
is
wanna be
better
hanging
in
around
the
here.
in the
There's a
oven.
king-size
But
demonic
sometimes you're
army
like
all
fully
set to
willing
storm
to
the town.
sacrifice it tasting
You're too
better for
late,
convenience.
The Confederates already tore through here. We lost everything. Ain't got no place to hide.
There's worse to come, buddy.
Yep.
Follow me. The church is the only safe place left in town.
I've actually never had pizza rolls.
Let's tango.
I mean, that's like anything in the microwave. You'll get like the middle of your plate is cold, the left side is steaming hot, the right side is just right. You're like, okay.
Yeah, 1/4 of this is edible. That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, this is okay. This is gonna sound stupid after this complaint, but so my mom's house, because of that, like most of the time I just wouldn't microwave or like reheat things. I would just eat it like right out of the fridge. But you can't do that for like something that was in the freezer, like a pizza pop. But yeah. But like most of the time I wouldn't use it anyways. I would just eat it cold. But
My flock, you found them. Thank
I guess just like, I think it's just like
You've done
the
the
brand
Lord's
name,
work,
I
my
guess,
son.
probably before the actual
Here's one
thing.
of
But
my
yeah, it's
flock
like the
found this fragment
little
of a
like
map near the
calzone
Confederate
thing.
camp. I'm afraid the other half of the map is missing, but
Like the Sylvester
perhaps you can find
calzone?
the other piece.
Yeah,
Way
semester
ahead of you,
calzone,
Padre.
exactly.
One last thing, son. You look like the
No,
sort of man
it's like a
I'd
little
find exhibit
pizza
this
that's like
parchment
folded
I have.
over.
It looks to me like pure evil.
Okay, I
But
gotcha.
the Lord
Yeah.
works in mysterious
Yeah.
ways.
And then you microwave it and it's cold in the middle. One side is so hot that it's like burst through the seam
Noah says I should
and
make
bubbling.
pizza. I should.
Yeah, fucking mail them to me so I can finally try them.
This is probably a stupid question. They have pizza rolls in Canada, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've never had them. My mom would always get pizza pops instead. And you can just have like 2 or 3 of those instead of making like a ton of pizza rolls.
Yeah, pizza rolls just been something I've had since a kid. Well, it's nice now
Yeah.
that I have an air fryer. It takes like 5 minutes and they cook.
No, air fryers are cool.
I love my air fryer. I get some of that beer batter frozen fish and put it in the air fryer. It's so good.
Hmm.
Yes, Noah, we love Pizza Papa.
Hello, pizza papa. You're my papa. Hello. I don't think we have that here. I don't know what pizza papa is.
That's Bruce Campbell, Austin.
Oh, sorry. No, because we were talking about food things. I thought you meant there was like a brand called Pizza Papa.
I wish. I'd eat anything with Bruce Campbell's face on it.
Whoa. Take it easy, sweetheart. No, that was like a brand. Like you have like Papa John's and Pizza Papa and Pizza Hut and Pizza.
John knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, well, no, it's because we're talking about food. I'm also not looking at the games. It's like I have no connection to Bruce Campbell. I'm just talking about pizza, and you're like, "Oh, Pizza Papa." I'm like, "I don't know what that means." Sure, it's probably good. I know we do love Pizza Papa. He's a good boy.
Yes.
He could be, yeah. Bruce Campbell's just be Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Bruce Campbell should have been the Mandarin.
That'd be great.
Guess you must be the man in charge around.
Because that's the movie where he's
Ashley
barely,
J.
in the Iron Man suit.
You
So
can
you
call
could have
me-
had his quip from the Spider-Man 3
God,
game
can it
where
be
he's
true?
like,
Have we
where
met?
he's like, press
My
circle to
great
climb a wall,
great-granddaddy used to tell
or
tale of
don't.
one-armed
But
stranger
yeah,
from the
if you
future
didn't do
who
that,
once saved
you
this
would just be
town from the
man.
minions of hell.
Did you come here to play
Williams
Man
the Black.
3? No, you came to
Yes.
play
One
Spider-Man.
of the family
Climb
didn't
that
believe you,
wall.
but I guess I was always partial to ghost stories.
That's
Now
so
here
good.
you are in the flesh. But if
Yeah,
you're
well, it's
here,
weird
does
too
that
because
mean-
he's only
Bingo,
like
baby.
that in the
Deadites
PS2
and lots
version
of
of
'em.
Spider-Man 3, the
They've taken
game.
fort already, and
In the
they'll wipe out this
PS3
whole
version,
town
like
before
the
sunup if we
new
don't stop.
consoles for the time,
I hear the Confederates built a
they just
barracks here to
did.
stop us
They just
getting
got him to like
involved.
record
That
things
should
like
stop the
dry.
Deadites getting into
It's
town.
like a
Oh,
regular
wow.
tutorial.
Buy
It's
some
really
time.
weird. Yeah. Yeah, if you look
about
up
that
the difference
barricade,
between them, it's like,
I might have
yeah, and like the
damaged
PS3
it
version will
just
be
a little
like,
bit.
press circle to climb the wall.
Well, maybe a lot actually.
That was like the.
It's like, oh, that's what you hired him to do.
Well, it's because he recorded them in console order and they did it all in a day. So
Oh,
by the
yeah,
last
that's good.
by the last one, he was just like,
Me and the boomstick are
He's
gonna
fucking
climb a wall.
pissed.
Yeah.
One
I
more
don't
thing,
know
Ash.
what's going on.
Stop by my house and you'll find an old
'Cause,
family
that's like the best part of
Something
Spider-Man
Blacksmith
2 is just
Williams made
fucking
after
up
you
so that
left.
he'll get mad at
Maybe
you.
he always meant for you to have it.
Guess I could do with a lucky horseshoe right about now.
I always think back to like when he tells you to jump and he's like, if you press X, you'll do a hop. A little hop. It's also weird they got him for the Amazing Spider-Man game. I don't know if you guys remember
That is weird. Yeah.
That was a really weird choice. I don't know why they did that. Well, it's for like a side mission. He's like a radio DJ that's in a blimp, and you have to like go find him, and there's little missions with him where you'll be like, I don't know, play basketball, yay. Oh it's weird. Both Amazing Spider-Man movie games was kind of okay.
I really didn't like the second one.
They're both just kind of generic. It does really feel like because those Beanox, like Beanox, really were invested in what they were doing with Spider-Man, and just like between those things would have to do the Amazing movie games, and like clearly their heart just wasn't really into it.
They're also more rushed.
Yeah, and that too. They're also rushed. Well, and it's not like they also had a foundation because their ones that they were making just on their own were not open
You
world.
know, I could have sworn there was only one of you a second ago.
So it's like that clearly just wasn't really what they were interested in. So when they would have to do that, and like you said, they're also rushed. So it's like, I don't know, they just kind of slapped together. Well, Amazing 2 is funny because they clearly at the last second were told that it's no longer a sequel to the movie like the first game was. Because like I don't know how well you guys remember it, but it's like basically it's its own story, and then at one point it's
Yeah.
like, what?
No, I was just saying, yeah, like that sound. I never played those, but that sounds familiar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like just its own story, and then at some point it's like, oh no, Electro is in downtown New York, go stop him. And then you beat him in Times Square, and it's like, oh no, Green Goblin is attacking now, go stop him. Anyways, okay, back to this Kingpin story. Yeah, Kraven's like another superhero that is like training you, and then he betrays you.
Oh.
For whatever reason, the final boss of that game is Carnage.
It is Carnage, yeah. Carnage is like being seeded throughout the game.
Hey,
Like you have to fight
nice.
Cletus earlier, and Kraven's helping you hunt him.
I don't like Cletus' seed.
Name's Ash.
Yeah, I don't like
I need
that.
to see your commanding officer.
Hold fast. You got identification? No one passes into camp unless they can prove who they are.
Hey, at ease or something, okay?
No,
Geez,
some of
you guys
the
need to
choices they made
relax.
were just kind of whack. In the first one, all the bosses they're like the lizard, but you know, all obviously different characters. But instead of people that turn into animals, they're animals given human DNA. So it's like we get like the rhino, and he's just like a rhino that was injected with human. And Scorpion, I think, is one, maybe. Iguana is one. Vermin is one. And then there's just like an original villain that they made up for that game that I think is supposed to be like a piranha.
If I recall, the movie Rhino from Craven is just how he looked in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game. Is that a
They
stretch?
do look similar. They do look similar. I'm not gonna lie. I had that thought when you were showing him the trailer.
No oh, crap.
Yeah, it's like him, but it's like 20% more gross in the game.
John, stop murdering people.
No.
Oh, I just found the dirtiest picture of the amazing game Rhino.
Oh.
I found this in the admin chat.
Austin, get off of Rule 34. We've been through this.
No, you can't stop me.
Oh no.
Right? Doesn't this look gross? Look at his face. It's also funny to imagine that that was originally just a real rhino. Who turned into that?
He just wants to die.
Literally. No, and the rest of that game is like a pandemic thing because we can't stop doing that for some reason in Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why we decided that like pandemics are what you do in a Spider-Man game.
Maybe it's just a
Size doesn't matter.
convenient plot device to get civilians off of the streets.
Maybe, but it's like you still have them on the street, like through most of the games. Like I don't know why,
Yeah, yes, it's true.
like removing them for a section. Like it's not like the Arkham thing.
That's true.
So I don't know. It's really weird. I think it's just like, oh, it feels big. Yeah, the Arkham thing is funny. I mean, it makes sense in the first two, I guess, but well, especially in the first one.
Monster. Ah.
And like, there's like some NPCs in City like that it would make enough sense.
Anime.
But in Origins and Night, it's like I don't know.
I like Origins is Christmas Eve. I'm glad that most people are into it.
Origins also did a thing I wish they did in Night, which is have like just regular crimes happening.
Yes.
It's like, don't remove that build on it.
Yeah.
That would. Rockstar was so weird. Because they constantly call it their RPG but Night directly references.
No, Origins is important
Yeah.
to Night for certain
Yep.
things.
It's like they act like it's not.
Mhm.
Except when it isn't.
Can't you
Yeah, who
see? I
knows?
just want to be left alone.
They can bury it.
No? Well, maybe I should put your eyes back in their sockets.
Even though
Yeah, well-
Origins is low-key a better game than Night, but it's fine.
Yeah, Origins is the only one with like a kind of normal, just Batman patrolling the streets, doing stuff game.
Yeah, it's cool. No, I wish we built on that. Like, I wish Night was that instead of, you know, the militia took over the city and everyone was evacuated. Because I always wanted that, where I'm like, you know, Spider-Man gets to just live in a regular New York where like civilians are there, and you know we make that work in Spider-Man games, and they have like a crime system that you can stop. Like, why can't Batman have that?
Yeah.
Or their original Suicide Squad game that they're making after Origins.
I would have preferred that.
That would have been cool. Well, yeah, it killed both of them. That new studio that the like head of Rocksteady made after he left, 100% I will like completely avoid IP games now. I guarantee it. No, it's weird we don't know what. Okay, actually, I say that. That's weird that we don't know what they're doing. But there's like 7 years between Night and Suicide Squad. And I think it's even longer between Origins and Gotham Knights. And those are the only
Yeah.
2 games WB Montreal has ever released. So they did like
Bizarre.
a DLC for Arkham Knight. They did the Batgirl one. That's it.
So, always has been.
Always will be. Oh, I thought we basically knew that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is also speculated is that Rocksteady was developing a Superman game that was scrapped early on.
No, and
that's why
Suicide
that
Squad is
was-
100% built off the skeleton of a Superman game.
Yeah, like I believe it.
No one can tell me otherwise. The game takes place in Metropolis. Brainiac is the main villain. Most of the supporting characters you meet are like Lois, Lex, like different Superman characters. There's no way that game did not start as a Superman game. I don't care what you say, Rocksteady. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, anything would have been cooler, yeah. I don't like how hornily you said that, Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Montreal was developing the Arkham Knight sequel that got scrapped, right?
Yeah, the Damien game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're making Suicide Squad, and then they're making the Damien game, and then they made Gotham Knights. And Gotham
going,
Knights
Captain?
definitely takes
Well, I gotta
elements
tell you,
from
your great,
the
great,
Damien
great
game,
granddaddy
because
was
the
one
big thing
hell
with
of a
that was that
weaponsmith.
instead of the
Things like
Batmobile,
this
it's going to
Gatling
be
gun
replaced
haven't
with a
even been
Bat
invented
Bike,
yet.
which is what
Funny,
Gotham Knights
I always
has.
heard him call it a Williams gun. We're almost ready to take the fort, but we can't leave the town undefended. We gotta find a way.
Well,
to
even
close
the
those
story of
portal
Gotham
thingamajigs,
Knights
or
is
the
weird, just
townsfolk
when the
will start
framework
attacking.
is like
Not a
Batman
problem.
dying and
I got away with portal thingamajigs.
the Bat
No, because
family
Gotham
taking
Knights
over.
should have been a
Plenty of it.
sequel to Arkham
Wish it were
Knight,
that
because it
simple, Al.
basically
yeah.
is.
Rebels
And then
looted
It's so
the
Suicide
weird.
few weeks ago.
Squad
Stole
isn't.
pretty much
It's really
everything of
weird.
value.
Well,
They
the
should be
hits just keep
flipped.
on coming.
Yep.
All right, leave it to me.
The funniest
I
Ready
also,
to
because I
attack
did
the
the
fort just
beta,
as soon
and
as you close
they
those
100% did
vortexes
not
in the
read it,
town.
but I wrote like a whole essay at the end of the beta about how the premise, like, alone is completely incorrect.
nerd.
Fuck you, John. It was a principle matter, okay?
You're a
They
set
needed
of
to know.
rules.
That can't be the case.
Exactly.
Did
They
you
didn't
next
follow
round?
him.
Well, and the funniest thing with Gotham Knights, Robert, do you know how that ends?
Well, yeah, because doesn't Batman come back like brainwashed and then he dies again,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, he sacrifices himself again to just end up where we started.
Yay!
That game also was the weirdest DLC.
I love my
Oh, I forgot that
chainsaw.
had DLC.
Guaranteed to break the ice.
Well, yeah, maybe it was just like an addition, but it was still like, yeah, they added a thing later, but they added a Starro thing.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like a raid.
Yeah, and it's like, why is Starro the main villain for Robin? Robin would get fucked so hard if he had to fight Starro.
No.
Robin is the last superhero I would want to be around if Starro attacked.
The title of the game is the one where Robin gets fucked by Starro.
That's the next game is Starro fuck Robin. What? Why are you angry that you fuck Robin in it? That's literally the title. But a Starro game would be great.
Yeah, I mean that. I so wish we'd get Injustice 3, and that's one of the takes you could do, is have Starro be your conceit for everyone being controlled and having to fight everybody. I think that makes sense for an Injustice game.
Sorry, when you were saying that, all I could imagine was just Injustice. But the premise, instead of Batman versus Superman, is Robin versus Starro.
Yeah.
That's how we get there.
Yeah, Robin's the last one standing.
My ass is on vacation.
No, I don't need an Injustice 3, but I would like to see NetherRealm do another DC game.
Oh yeah.
But like, I'd be fine if it was just like, I'd prefer if it was its own thing, separate from that. But like, if it's Injustice 3, it's fine.
Well, and I don't even care that much like about the central story. Just
Yeah. No, for sure.
I just like the gameplay.
That same here, yeah. As long as their Joker looks better than he did in Injustice 2, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, NetherRealm seems to really struggle with the Joker design. I don't like any of the Joker designs.
The best one, oddly, is Mortal Kombat 11, and I don't want him to be in that game. Even though he looks like Mike Matei, it's still their best Joker design.
The
He doesn't
Oh,
just look terrible. Everything about Twink Joker in that game is awful. Oh, that's true.
He's not a bad guy.
Their Joker in that is like how they talk about Wolverine and Deadpool 3, where it's like the worst Joker, and he's like, everyone I know is dead. And he only has one leg.
Suicide Squad has got to have the most baffling DLC character additions of any game ever.
Okay, so
I can't believe the final roster of that thing.
so Robert.
Yeah,
when Avengers came out, I was like, how the fuck did you like
I could have sworn
bundle
there was
your
only one
additional
second.
characters so hard, where it's like, I mean, you have like a template that you know in advance of what Marvel's doing. Like, why wouldn't you try to like piggyback off of that to get people interested? Like, oh, there's a Black Panther movie coming out. Let's put a Black Panther on there. Oh, a Hawkeye show's coming out. Like a Scarlet Witch show's coming out. Like, try to plan it around that. But even then, even if you weren't gonna do that, whatever. Why the fuck do you start with Hawkeye and then another Hawkeye? And like Black Panther, obviously that makes sense. But then we get just like basically another Captain America with Winter Soldier, another Thor, and we know that they were planning on doing War Machine and She-Hulk next. So it's like, why would you then do another Hulk and another Iron Man? Why are they all just clones of characters you already have when you could have like Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Quicksilver?
But Austin, then we don't have to rebuild their controls and move system. We
No,
can just
I know.
recycle what we have.
We can just recycle what we have, I know. And then when Suicide Squad was coming out, I was like, well, thank God the Avengers game happened before
sorry
this.
about your face.
So that they
Here,
can
let me
look
get
at
you a
where
tissue.
that went wrong
And a mop.
and then go from there. So it's like it can't have a DLC roster as fucking whack as the Avengers game did. It will, there's a Peacemaker show coming out. They can have Peacemaker like pretty early. He's pretty popular. I was like Deathstroke was one that people really wanted. There was talk about Black Manta being in the game because there was artwork for him in it. And then the characters start, well, you say it was fucking more whack than Avengers was. It's like literally, besides Deathstroke, who was the fucking last one they released, none of them were characters anyone would want to play as.
You didn't want to play as Deadshot's daughter or Lady Mr. Freeze?
No!
Or Twink Joker?
We get Twink Joker, lesbian Mr. Freeze, Deadshot's lesbian daughter. That's like the main thing. That's like the main thing I remember when that came out. I was just being like, that's kind of just a weird choice. Why wouldn't you just have Mr. Freeze? Like, I'm not one to be like, like woke or whatever, but like it is really weird. They were like, let's have a gender bent lesbian Mr. Freeze. That's what people want.
They're also. Oh.
Yeah.
There are also other lady characters from the movies you could have used.
No, literally, like, if you wanted a female character, there's plenty of female Suicide Squad characters. But, like, I don't know, why were they all Batman characters, like, for the first two, at least? Like, I guess it's half, like, it's split halfway, but, like why was that the case? And, like, they were supposed to make Killer Croc, which it was fine enough, but, like, you're putting in too many Batman characters right off the get-go.
But it's an Arkham game, Austin.
Oh yeah, how did I forget? Except it also probably wouldn't have been Killer Croc from Arkham. It would have been Twink lesbian Killer Croc from another universe.
I would love to have
Yeah, that's what I wanted too. He's like 12 feet tall. That's wonderful.
He just has a revolver. Oh, I wish my thumbs were so big. It's hard to put the bullets in.
I can shoot you, Batman.
With my gun.
With my gun, because I'm a fucking crocodile.
And I'm crazy.
I was born and my wires were not quite crossed, Batman. I have a gun. Yeah, like what would a Killer Croc's movement abilities have been? He slaps his tail down and pushes him into the air and he can fly. Probably. But that is something like none of the DLC characters in that are quite reskinned. Obviously, you know, they are to the degree that like they all can have the base like movement and whatnot, which is also like arguably similar to Avengers, except that's maybe a little bit more different. But like obviously Suicide Squad, like they have to have some way to jump into the air, some way to like glide around. But all of them are pretty different in how they do that. So like they maybe would have found a different way to do it. What I want is that he has a big tail and it launches him into the air and then he's got like flying squirrel kind of wings that he glides around on. That's what I would want.
I thought you were gonna say his tail would spin around like tails.
Oh my god, that's even better. That's even better. Yep. Yeah, that's what I want. Like yeah, like we didn't get like Rick Dog or like Bronze Tiger.
Yeah.
Or, you know, major Suicide Squad characters.
I didn't play any of the DLC characters because apparently they're like.
Yeah. No,
Which is
no, that's
insane.
it. That's
I
same
wouldn't
for me.
mind playing as- I wouldn't mind,
Deathstroke.